I want to start today's show off by just giving us all a quick little round of applause. Clap yourself on the back or pat yourself on the back because we have made it. Training camp has officially begun. We have real life football to talk about for your Green Bay Packers. On today's show, we're going to break down the latest breaking injury news that we got from Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur this morning. And then on the back half of today's show, I'm just going to give you some takeaways from both of those press conferences. Before we get into any of the content, though, make sure that you guys are subscribed. And if this is the first time, checking in on the channel, this is the perfect day to do it. We are battling Bears now for the entire month of July. We only got 9 days left in the entire month. We are down 9 subscribers in our sub battle. So if you have not yet, join us today. Hit that big red sub button. And that way you can prove to Bears fans across the country that Packers fans are the best in the entire NFL. Let's start with why you guys clicked into the video. Let's start with the injury news because before they even hit the practice field, which they hit at around 10:30 earlier this morning, Brian Gutekunst spoke to the press and gave a ton of injury updates. So that's what we're going to spend the majority of the time on today's show. We're going to start on the positive side with Christian Watson. Gutekunst gave a little bit of an ACL rehab update. As you all know, Christian Watson tore that ACL in early January. It was devastating. So incredibly sad to see happen because he was battling through injuries that season just in general. And as all we know, his entire career has basically been battling through injuries. Well, Brian Gutekunst said that Christian Watson's rehab from the torn ACL is going, quote, great this offseason. He's a freak. He did a run test the other day and looked great. It's an ACL, so we're going to take our time with him, but he's pressing to get out there. And let's just be real. Every update that we've gotten from Christian Watson, whether it's from the head coach, the general manager, or from Watson himself on his Instagram story running routes, it's all been great news so far. It really seems like he is far ahead of schedule. And I love, like Brian Gutekunst said, Green Bay is being very smart and being very patient, okay? And I think that's the most important thing. With an injury as severe as Christian Watson's, you have no choice but to be patient. And the good thing about Green Bay this year is they have the ability to be patient as well because of how deep that wide receiver room is. If it was last year, right, and they were just trotting out Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks as the 3 starting wide receivers with Christian Watson out, you might want to rush him back a little bit sooner. But now you have Matthew Golden, you have Savion Williams, and you have Wicks and possibly even McCole Hardman as well. You have a ton of talented receivers that can get the rock over Christian Watson while he's waiting to come back from that injury. My guess, I think he's going to be back around week 10. Pretty much for the entirety of the offseason, I've been saying week 12, but everything we've heard so far has been positive, and hearing that he's already doing running tests and that training camp was even a thought or even a mention of him not even practicing in training camp, the fact that that even had to be spoken, it leads me to believe he's going to be back a little bit quicker than I thought. So I'm saying week 10 against the Eagles. Week 9, Green Bay plays the Panthers. I don't think they would rush him back to get back for Carolina, so I think he's going to take one more week off, and we'll be back week 10 against Philadelphia. That's my guess. Now it's your turn to take a guess in the comments section. Fill in the blank for me. Christian Watson will be back week blank. Let me know right now by commenting down below. Let's go to Quay Walker, okay, over to the defensive side of the football. As we all know, he kind of dealt with an ankle injury through the entirety of last season, especially towards the back half. He didn't really practice one bit in OTAs or in minicamp, and Rob Demovsky tweeted out that one more injury note. Quay Walker underwent surgery that Gutekunst called a cleanup. It stemmed from an ankle injury, but isn't expected to miss too much time in camp. And I'll be real with Quay Walker, if he just gets a couple weeks in camp, I'm fine with this. I think it's a positive thing that it was just a cleanup surgery. This was kind of kept under wraps, kept under the table. I don't think they wanted many fans to know that he was having surgery in the first place because when people find out surgery is being had, they ultimately freak out. Well, it wasn't that big of a deal for Quay Walker. Ultimately, it's just going to get him better ready for this next season. And so if he gets those last couple weeks of camp, I think he's going to be great, up to speed, and up to conditioning for this season. Elgton Jenkins is up next, dealing with a back injury. And this is really the first time that we've heard of anything of an injury status for Jenkins, because as we know, over the past couple of months rather, it hasn't been an injury that's kept him out. It's kind of been a disagreement over contract now that he's making that move to center. Brian Gutekunst said that Elgton Jenkins is dealing with a back injury. He says Jenkins has made clear once the back issue is over, he's ready to be on the practice field as the Packers' new center. And I really, really hope this is true. I have no reason to believe it's not true, but there's also a little bit of skepticism for me, because that's why he didn't practice during minicamp, was because of wanting something new in his contract, maybe a little bit more money, maybe an extension, some more guaranteed. Nobody really knows exactly what he wanted, but he wanted a change, okay? And now I don't know how easy it is for me to believe that, once this back issue clears up, he'll be back out there practicing. Brian Gutekunst says he does not think Elgton Jenkins will need much time to acclimate as the new starting center. He's played that position for us. He's very natural there, very gifted. So if he's good with the back injury, if he comes back, he's healthy, he's at center, that's phenomenal. Just less offensive line drama for all of us, especially now that Zach Tom got extended just a couple days ago. John Williams, let's stick with the offensive line. He was a recent draft pick for your Green Bay Packers, is also dealing with a back injury. This one seems a little bit different than Jenkins's, okay? Zach Cruz tweeted this out. That Brian Gutekunst said 7th-round rookie John Williams is dealing with a back injury and might be out for a while. Now, let's be honest. It's not like John Williams was expected to compete for a starting spot. If anything, he was just going to be a depth piece. And so, excuse me, I don't think this is anything crazy for this season. Now, who knows what his role is going to be moving forward in 2026 and in 2027. But regardless, I think the fact that he's a rookie and he might be out for a while with a back injury, I don't think that points to great things. Would love for a guy like that to just get a full year of reps under him at a backup position, just get him acclimated with life in the NFL. We're going to round this one out. Final injury update for you. Collin Oliver, who dealt with a foot injury after the Arkansas game for Oklahoma State in his senior season. Gutekunst indicated that Collin Oliver is probably, quote, a few weeks away from getting out on the practice field, which is phenomenal. Okay, I think we're all really excited to see Collin Oliver. I did a whole episode, a whole show on Collin Oliver just a couple days ago, because I think this is a guy that's going to be an absolute star, and I'm not the only one who thinks that. Jeff Hafley spoke to him after the draft and said, I see him as a guy with a skill set to play linebacker and rush off the edge. I think he can do both. I believe he can be an edge rusher in certain situations, and I do believe he can be an offensive end in certain situations. It's about taking the skill set and putting it to use rather than saying, this is our defense, where is he going to play? Collin Oliver has a chance to be really special for Green Bay as a rookie. Now, do I think he's going to go out there and get double-digit sacks? No, not necessarily, but I think he's going to be able to be used in multiple different ways, and I think he gives teams a different look. There's a lot of power on this defensive line, even with the edge rushers. Collin Oliver is a lot of speed, a lot of finesse, and he's got a pretty deep bag as well. So the fact that he's just a couple weeks away, yet another positive injury update from today's presser with Brian Gutekunst. You tell me, what are you looking forward to on day one of training camp? I'm really excited to see more Matthew Golden clips hit the timeline. Those are always very, very refreshing to see, even if he's wearing number 22 and has a Guardian cap on. Regardless, really, really excited to see more of him. Excited to see a healthy Jordan Love as well. Coming up, we'll get to the rest of the takeaways from the opening pressers. All right, no more injury stuff. Let's talk about what I took away from what Coach LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst had to say. We'll wrap up the show in that way. Before that, make sure you head down to chatsports.com/Packers t-shirt. If you want this t-shirt for just $16, it was $35. Now it's $16. If you do the quick math, that's almost $20 off. How often can you find an officially licensed piece of apparel, a Nike shirt nonetheless, with the G on it for less than $20? This is a wonderful deal. You have to act fast. Take advantage of it as quickly as you can, because this is not going to last for long. Okay, so if you're planning on going to training camp, perfect day to get fitted out with our friends over at Fanatics. Go to chatsports.com/Packers t-shirt. Of course, that link is in the comments and description of today's video. Let's end with a couple more takeaways. Okay, we're going to rattle these off. Melton will switch to cornerback. It has actually been made official on the depth chart itself if you go to Packers.com. And Brian Gutekunst said that is going to spend most of his time at corner. I think we switched his number 16 because it looks a little bit better than the 80 he was running out there at camp. He'll spend most of the time, especially these first 3 or 4 weeks, at corner. This is how Melton makes a roster spot. I don't think there's room for Melton on this depth chart if he just stays at wide receiver. Now, will he officially be a corner? Who's to say? That's why you're going to be there over the first couple of weeks, first 3 or 4 weeks, to see if he even fits there, see if that's even a possibility. But when I look at this cornerback depth chart, compared to when I look at the wide receiver depth chart, there's just way more room in that cornerback room for him than there is in the wide receiver room. Now, would I rather than move Melton to corner or sign a free agent cornerback? Probably sign a free agent cornerback, a guy who's played in the NFL at that position for his entire career. But we'll see how it goes. Who knows? Melton could go out there, be absolutely dominant, be a shutdown corner, and they just found an absolute diamond in the rough. Or he could go out there, spend 3 weeks, and then say, I don't think corner's the spot for you. That's what this training camp is for, I guess. Be honest with me. What's your one-word reaction to Melton moving to corner? Let me know. I think surprising is mine. I think they tried him out in minicamp. I didn't think it was going to be anything official, but now it is. You let me know your one-word reaction down below. This one I love, okay? It seems like Matt LaFleur is really in the right mindset for this season, okay? And I know I don't want to take too much out of this comment. I don't want to get too excited about it because a lot of this is just coach speak, like, let's be real. But he was asked about the new locker room. And he said, you know what? It's cool, it's flashy, it's nice, but flashy and nice, that doesn't win football games. Pain, grit, determination, hard work, all of that does. And I think we can be real. This team all needs more grit on every side of the ball in every position because that is what wins Super Bowls. Toughness, hard work, determination, not a really nice locker room. Those things are great, but that's not what's going to hoist the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the season. And then finally, Quay Walker. Green Bay, per Brian Gutekunst, wants Quay here long-term. As we know, they did not pick up his 5th-year option. A lot of people, myself included, speculated that means maybe they're just going to run this year with him, maybe the following one, but he's not going to get a contract extension after that. Andy Herman tweeted out from Brian Gutekunst, Quay is not contract related. He again reiterated that they want him here long-term, said his cleanup and injury issue will probably take him about another week. So that's news to me, okay? We haven't really had anything official since they didn't pick up his 5th-year option, and now Brian Gutekunst confirms that they want him here long-term. I think we can expect a contract extension happening sometime over the next 6 or 7 months. We're going to get out of here, but appreciate you guys for tuning in with me. Make sure you got me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm tweeting about training camp all week long. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for daily updates like this.